All right, what's up, guys? So I'm going to show you guys how I went from fat to fit to jacked. On the left, I'm looking pretty fit, but on the right, I'm looking jacked. So we'll walk through this. So a little bit about myself. So on the left, this is me. I was kind of like skinny fat. This was during COVID. I put on like 20 pounds. Was just going through a lot of things. My mom passed away, and really I was drinking a lot. Right, I wasn't eating right. It was a struggle for me to get in the gym, 2 or 3, days a week. And I really lost a lot of my confidence. Being a former athlete, it was tough kind of seeing that. And on the right here, this is me about a month ago looking absolutely stacked. And I think the biggest challenge with our physiques is a lot of times we have this version of ourselves that we want to be, right? In terms of confidence, in terms of money, in terms of how our body looks. And when the outside doesn't match the inside, it can be really frustrating. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly, the easy steps from getting to skinny fat, from if you're kind of fit, to getting absolutely jacked here. So we'll make it simple. So very simply, the training style is just using bodybuilding. Right now, I did my first bodybuilding show last year, and I learned a lot of secrets I'm going to tell you guys within this, within this presentation. So the reason bodybuilding makes the most sense is because you look at a guy like Ryan Terry, right? So Ryan Terry, he was just voted the #1 physique, literally on the planet. And it's like, if these guys are training to have the best physique possible to build the most amount of muscle, like, why are we not copying what they're doing? Right. On top of that, you got guys like Mike Mentzer, you got guys like Arnold. This over here, so this is actually my coach, Gary Pineda. Shout out Gary. So he's the one who really taught me this bodybuilding style and similar transformation, right? He went from, let me just minimize this. He went from, looking pretty fit to looking absolutely jacked, right? That's the transformations we're looking for. Kind of same here. Like, I was like kind of fit. I was really kind of just skinny fat to getting absolutely jacked over here. So 3 things really you need to know about this. So the first one, just 3 to 4 workouts per week, right? Even Jay Cutler, like sometimes I do 5, but even like Jay Cutler, who beat Ronnie Coleman, if you guys know who Ronnie Coleman is, right? Massive. He at most did 5 workouts a week, right? So it's like, hey, we shouldn't do anything more than that. As a natural athlete, 3 or 4 is perfect. The second biggest thing, and this is really a huge point in this, is keeping your rep ranges around 5 to 8 and 8 to 12. The reason for that, so in terms of muscle growth, the most important reps are the 5 reps leading up to failure. So it doesn't matter if you do a set of 5, right, to failure, or set of 20 to failure. The most important are still those last 5 leading up to failure. So I got this from Gary. So, he helped me with this philosophy, and I made some crazy gains in the past year. I'm going to show you guys what it's going to look like. So this is actually a workout I did. This is an incline Smith machine. So this is my first set of 5 to 8. So I'm walking through this. So here's 2. Big key is we just want to go to failure, right? So it doesn't make sense to do a set of 20. This is my, 4th rep, 5th rep, right, 6th rep. And here's the thing, like a lot of those in the past, I would have stopped because I was like, man, that was tough. I think I'm good. But it's like, hey, if you want to get absolutely all the way to failure, you're getting that extra 5 or 10%. So that's really the biggest thing. Make sure you guys go into failure. Talks about just warming up properly, max amount of sets. You don't need to be in the hour, or you don't need to be in the gym for 2-3 hours, hour and a half max, right? I usually only do about 12 sets per workout, so much shorter than that, but absolute max, 16, 18 or so. In terms of like the major keys from this section, really the biggest thing is going to failure and great mind-muscle connection, right? And the way I explain this, it's like if you wanted to build a bigger chest, and I was doing an incline, dumbbell bench. A lot of times what happens when we're lifting for strength, let's say we're doing the incline and we start pushing with our shoulders, right? We start pushing with our triceps, our back arches, we push with our legs. For strength, that's totally cool because you're going to get stronger overall. Your full body's going to get stronger. But if I want to build my chest specifically, if I want to build that muscle, I need to keep that tension on that muscle. So big thing, go to failure, and then having great mind-muscle connection. So here's some secret sauce here. So post-workout, I like to do 5 to 10 minutes incline walk. You can really do any kind of cardio, but what this is going to do, it's going to increase the blood flow, which is going to help with recovery. Second thing, so this is huge, guys. After your workout, you want to combine protein plus a simple carb. Right, so this in the middle here, this is, I'm sure you guys know First Form, Andy Frisella, great company, great product. So this is basically a protein plus a carbohydrate source. The reason you want to combine these after your workout is when you ingest carbs, it's going to spike your insulin, which is going to push all that protein that you just absorbed directly into your muscles. So like it's a cheat code to make sure you guys are building as much muscle as humanly possible. What I like to do is I've been using Rise. I think I saw it on TikTok. They had a pretty nice sale. So like, let me get some Rise. But I really like to mix it with about 60 grams worth of cereal. right? It helps with the sweet tooth because you're eating cereal pretty much every time you work out. But most importantly, it's going to spike your insulin. So it's going to push all that protein straight to your muscles. So faster growth, better recovery. So you guys do a little bit of, 5-10 minutes of walking, some sort of cardio after your workout, and add that protein plus a simple carbohydrate. Of course, guys, you guys know this, protein is king. Prioritize getting about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. This is good for building muscle and losing fat. Right? In terms of building muscle, protein is the building block. So if you're not able to recover properly because you don't have enough protein, you're not going to build muscle. Secondly, if you're trying to lose body fat, if you're not having enough protein, right? Protein is the most thermodynamic, macronutrient. Meaning if you eat proteins, carbs, and fats, proteins requires the most energy for our body to process it, right? So it's going to speed up your metabolism. It's going to help you lose fat faster as well. Now, I personally meal prep. I think it's the easiest way to make sure you're hitting your goals. In the off season, what I like to do is I like to meal prep, and then I'll have 1 or 2 cheat meals a week. I think a lot of what holds people back from meal prepping is they think you can't have other foods. It's like, dude, you can have as many foods as you want, right? If you want to meal prep for 2 days and then do another set of meals 2 days later, you can do whatever you want, right? But for me, it's like I like having the consistency, and I also just like having those cheat meals. It's like, hey, I can go out and enjoy that time with my friends, have the meals I'm going to eat, and I know I'm on a system, so even if I have those cheat meals, I can come back, I'll be totally fine. Another major key here first, and this is just in terms of like building muscle, a lot of you guys need to lean out just a little bit, right? And the reason being, if you're at a higher body fat, so like 15 to 20% plus, right? If you're above that, you have lower testosterone, your resting heart rate is higher, and most importantly, you have a lower insulin sensitivity, which basically means your body just isn't as primed to grow, right? You might be able to get an extra 5-10% if your body fat's just a little bit lower, so it helps with that. So this is just a sample meal plan. So this is like, I think this is close to my maintenance calories. So 2,600 calories, 195 grams of protein, 330 grams of carbs, 50 grams of fat. So I'll walk through these. So first meal I like to have is a fruit smoothie. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I think I just made a video about this. So 150 grams of frozen fruit, banana, whey protein, cup of almond milk, 15 grams of peanut butter. Great breakfast smoothie. You get your carbs, you get your protein, great source there. Second meal, chicken stir fry. So we got some chicken breast, jasmine rice, stir fry vegetables. I don't personally track my vegetables because for me, like I don't cook with like butter or anything like that. I just use like an avocado oil spray. But it's not worth it for me to track the extra 10 or 20 calories. And on top of that, vegetables, they require like energy for your body to consume them, right? So it's like, it probably is a wash anyway. So vegetables, you can have as many vegetables as you want, especially if you're in prep, it helps. Another meal I love to have, so this is one of my favorite meals. I post this on my Instagram all the time. So pre-workout meal, egg and bacon bagel. So basically you're gonna do a bagel, 2 eggs, 2 slices of turkey bacon, and then 2 turkey sausage patties. So great protein, great carbohydrates. Another thing you wanna focus on around your workouts, you want a carb before and you want a carb after, right? A carb before is going to give you energy for your workout, and then the carb after is going to spike your insulin like we talked about, so that's going to help with the muscle growth process. So post-workout, 60 grams cereal of choice, scoop whey protein, almond milk. Last meal, beef and broccoli, ground beef, jasmine rice, broccoli. Once again, don't chalk the broccoli. With this is just kind of like a framework. Like if you guys are like, oh, I don't really like beef and broccoli, switch it out, right? Do sweet potatoes and chicken, right? Turkey and, I don't know, zucchini, right? You guys can switch it up, but this just gives you a framework so you guys can see what a typical meal plan would look like. So how to get results, I think it's much easier, obviously, to have a coach program exactly how much your calories need to be, where you need to stay at, but it's just giving a DIY type version. So basically what you want to do is you want to keep your protein the same, right? If you're at 195 grams of protein, stay at 195 grams. If you're trying to cut, you try to lower the calories by about 200 to 300 calories every 2 weeks, right? And the way I do it, I just adjust the carbs. I keep the protein the same, the fat the same. I lower the carbs, and that'll allow me to adjust the calories, right? If you're trying to bulk, same thing. You're just going to increase the carbs. And I think a lot of people, like, they comment like, oh, I'm just going to go carnivore to lose weight. And that's great, but like once you go off carnivore, you're probably going to put the weight back on. Right? And on top of that, I don't want to cut out carbs forever. I love bread. I love pasta. I love cereal. It tastes amazing. So I don't know why I'd want to cut that out. So I'd much rather just have the science and the data to say, okay, I can just cut out 50 grams worth of carbs and I'm going to start to lose weight. Right? If I'm going to gain, I just up it by 50 grams of carbs. Right? So basically the thought process behind it, you want to adjust it by 200 to 300 calories. After 2 weeks, if nothing's changed, you want to drop it again. So drop it another 200, 300, stay there. By then you should see some sort of a decrease in fat loss. And you want to maintain there until you start to plateau again. But you really need to wait about a week or two to actually see results to see if the new calories are working. Another cheat code here, so you can actually use ChatGPT to design meal plans for you. So what I like to do is, so you basically just Google BMR calculator. So it's going to establish what your base metabolic rate is. Meaning if I eat this exact amount, I'm going to stay exactly the same. I'm not going to gain weight. I'm not going to lose weight. I'm going to stay exactly the same. So this is just one, calculator.net. This is for me. So you put in your age, height, weight, calculate. This is my BMR. And then you have to add in your activity level. So if you work out 1 to 3 times a week, your base metabolic rate is 25-27, right? For me, I work out 4 or 5 times a week. So it's about 2,700. So basically what you can do is go to ChatGPT, put in, okay, create me a meal plan. That's 2,700 calories. This much protein. And once it spits it out, if you're like, hey, I don't like these foods, tell it, hey, swap this out, add in salmon, remove this, add this, right? It's an easy way for you to design a meal plan so you can have a framework to follow. Last but not least, recovery, guys, is so important. So I think there's really just 3 main variables, right? You have your exercise, the workouts you're doing, which we've already talked about. We talked about the nutrition, fueling your body properly. Last is the recovery, right? Because the recovery is a time for your body to actually grow, for your muscles to repair and grow stronger. So quality sleep, I shoot for 7 to 8 hours every single day. A big thing, no caffeine after 4, right? Caffeine has a half-life of like 8 hours. So if you drink like a cup of coffee at 4 o'clock, it's still in your body till like midnight, right? So that's why a lot of times you take pre-workout late at night. You're like, I don't know why it's still, I don't know why I'm up at 3 o'clock. It's like, dude, it's because it takes so long to get out of your system. So no caffeine, absolute cutoff is 4 p.m. Phone down at least 1 hour before bed. You don't be caught, doom scrolling, and then wake up at the same time every day. I think this really helps. You need to get into a rhythm. So in terms of your circadian rhythm, so waking up at the same time, I usually wake up from like 6 to 7. Sometimes a little bit earlier, sometimes a little later, but like 6 to 7, that's when I'm up. Same time every single day. And we're gonna add in some extras here. So 15 minutes of sunlight per day. This will also help with the circadian rhythm. So trying to get some sunlight as soon as you wake up. But 15 minutes you want to spend outside, right? Get some sunlight. Foam rolling and stretching. So that's going to help with recovery. We want to make sure we stretch, get the blood flow going. So roll, stretch out. In terms of supplements, so I take 5 grams of creatine every single day. The reason I like creatine, so creatine's already produced in your body. It's naturally produced. You have 3 energy systems in your body. So when you do short, explosive movements, so think of power, sets or reps of like 5 to 8, that's when you're using creatine in your body. So when you supplement with creatine, it's like filling up your gas tank. You're stronger, you can lift longer. It's going to help you recover quicker as well. Second thing, so I take 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. This will help with the hormone regulation. This will help with, increasing your testosterone. Everyone should have vitamin D, especially a lot of you guys aren't getting enough sunlight, so add that in. And then last but not least, we're going to take some fish oil as well. So this will help with cardiovascular health, heart health, high cholesterol. It's also going to help lubricate the joints as well. So if you guys liked this video, I made a community. So this has more videos similar to this. So it really breaks down my workout style. It's going to have workout programs, the exact programs I use to build my physique. It's going to have meal plans in there as well. I have videos how to meal prep on my YouTube too. So they're in both here. So if this link, we're going to put this link in the description. If it's not there yet, go and DM me on Instagram. I'll make sure you guys get the link for it. And my end goal, I just want to help create as many sick physiques as I can. I dealt with kind of the opposite end where I kind of felt like skinny fat. Like I didn't feel comfortable in my body. I didn't have good habits, right? I knew I wasn't confident. I wasn't this best version of myself. So I want to just give you guys as much information as I possibly can. So if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.